a teenage wedding and the old folks wished them well. You could see that Pierre did truly love the mademoiselle. And now the young monsieur and madame have rung the chapel bell. C'est la vie, say the old folks, it goes to show you never can tell. They furnished off an apartment with a two-room robot sale. The coolerator was crammed with TV dinners and ginger ale. But when Pierre found work, the little money coming worked out well. C'est la vie, say the old folks, it goes to show you never can tell. They had a hi-fi phone, oh boy, did they let it blast. 700 little records, all rock, rhythm, and jazz. But when the sun...
Okay, so Inspire as such came about 2 years ago. Before that we were two separate organizations. There was one organization called the Eden Foundation, another organization called Ratsetal Viveria, which means the Park of Friendship. Okay. And then because they both helped people with disabilities, they decided to join together. They joined all the services and all the programs, so they were able to help more people. Okay. And financially they shared the burden as well. And it was created, let's say both organizations were created about 20-25 years ago. The Eden Foundation was created by a gentleman who had a boy with Down syndrome, and there were no organizations to help his child, so he started a foundation himself. And here in Marsa Scala it was started by an English couple who were living in Malta, and over the last 25 years it really grew.
Okay. So everybody who have children with disability can decide to join Inspire?
Yes, it's open to everybody. Some of the services they have to pay, so maybe some parents they cannot afford it, although the government helps a little bit. And then for the program we do, which is free for children, it depends on the school. The school has to refer the child to us. So there are some children, unfortunately, they're not being helped as much as they could.
Okay. So what is the income of Inspire? You said about maybe the parents' donation and the government, but there is...
Yes. Well, we get most of our money from fundraising events. We do events every month. Okay. So we earn a lot of money through that. We also have some services which the parents pay for, like we do therapeutic horse riding in the afternoon and multisensory therapy. Some of it, when they're extra sessions, they have to pay. And also, for example, we have the gym and the pool, and people pay to use that. Not people with disabilities, but the general public, they have to pay, so we earn revenue from this. Okay. And the government also helps us a bit.
How Inspire works? So I mean about the volunteer or employees, how it works?
Well, we have 250 paid employees. These are people, most of them are qualified in the field of disabilities. Apart from that, because we have limited funds, we also have volunteers. We have about 150 volunteers who help in various areas, and we try to meet the needs of the community through this amount of people. Okay.
Avant d'effectuer mon séjour à Malte, j'ai pris contact avec une association qui s'occupait d'enfants handicapés afin d'arriver sur place en ayant déjà de bonnes pistes pour commencer mon reportage. Ayant choisi comme thème l'handicap chez les jeunes à Malte, cette association fut déterminante dans la réalisation de mon reportage. L'association s'appelle Inspire et est une des seules présentes sur l'île de Malte. Elle est donc très importante sur l'île et possède de nombreux établissements et personnels. Inspire m'a proposé de venir plusieurs fois par semaine afin de me confronter au quotidien de ces jeunes handicapés. J'ai ainsi pu réaliser diverses activités avec les bénévoles, comme de la poterie, divers sports, ou bien encore de l'équithérapie. L'île de Malte est située entre la Sicile et la Libye, ce qui lui vaut un agréable climat méditerranéen. De surcroît, il y fait très bon vivre. La culture y est très intéressante, les jeunes accueillants et chaleureux. Ce mois à Malte fut très enrichissant sur le plan personnel. Cela m'a ouvert l'esprit sur de nombreuses choses. J'ai ainsi pu voir que l'handicap à Malte n'était pas traité de la même façon qu'en France, certainement par manque de moyens. Mais ce qui est intéressant fut de voir que l'Europe se penchait sur cette question et offrait de nombreuses bourses aux jeunes Européens afin qu'ils aillent à Malte transmettre leurs connaissances sur ce sujet. Disability, for example during events or during your scholar period?
Disabled people are quite out in social. As I mentioned before, they're in us at schools. When you ever go out, you can see people with disabilities. So yes, they're quite visible. They're not closed in their homes. They're very out in the public.
Yes. And so maybe at school you have events with children, young people like you with disability, like exchange. One day you can help him to, I don't know if it exists in Malta, this kind of thing.
Usually they don't do it at schools. What schools does is that with every class they can introduce disabled people. But there are associations that, for example, once a year go and give a hand for in associations that go to their places and restore their houses and help them with their daily needs, I would say.
Okay. And so now, what about Jeunes and to be volunteer for disability?
Well, there are quite a number of groups in Malta. Malta is known as being very helpful toward others. In fact, there are a big number of groups like Inspire. It's partly made of volunteer people. There is also Equal Partners Foundation, which is also help people, disabled people, and there are loads of other communities that do help these disabled people.
Okay. So thank you for this interview.
Thank you.
Everybody goes to be alone, where you won't see any rising sun. Down to the river we will run. Somebody calls you, somebody says, swim with the current and float away down by the river every day. Oh my God, I see